Okay, Chapter 5, Day 6 notes, Part 1. How do we work backwards from a given percent to find a value? So what do we mean by that? Well, let's recall for a minute. What we've been doing is we've been working forward, okay? We've started with some number, put it into our z-score formula. From our z-score formula, we used our calculator to get a percent. Well, we want to be able to work backwards, starting with a percent. We're going to tell you the percent answer. We want to know what value would be that answer. Like, what height would be the top 10%. So we know the percent, so working backwards, we have to get a z-score. And then from there, we can find out what the number is. So part 1 is going to work, how do we get to the z-score? And then eventually we're going to get it into some number. So you must first find the z-score for a given percentage. That's not a guess and check. We have to, our calculator will tell us what that z-score is if we just know the percent value that we are looking for. So what do? So for example, it might say find a z-score for the lowest 10%. So just like always, we're going to draw a picture. Draw and mark the percent to the left of the line as a decimal on a graph. And so here's my picture, okay? I draw a normal curve, all right? I make a mark where I feel the lowest or the bottom 10% is. It's about there. So now I'm going to use second vars 3 to get my z-score, okay? So on your calculator, you're going to use the second button, then press vars, and then option 3 you're going to see is, so, oops, second, vars. Option 3 is what's called inverse norm, or working backwards. And it's going to give you this menu of area and then mu and sigma, still at 0 and 1. So from second vars 3, this is the menu that your calculator will give you. You must, this number right here, this area, must be what is to the left of the line that you drew. So I drew a line. What is left of my line is 0.10, and so that is what I enter in right there. Okay? This area has to be what's to the left, always to the left of the line. When you do that, your calculator screen is going to look like the following. You're going to hit enter, 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 enter for paste, enter again, just like before. But what this tells you now is the z-score. So your calculator is going to give you the z-score. That is the z-score. Okay, so draw the z-score on your graph below the line, round to 2 decimals. So that number, the negative, pay attention if it's negative or positive, 1.28, I go to 2 decimals. I draw it right below the line. I have now found a z-score for the lowest 10%. Let's try another one. Find a z-score for the upper 20%. Upper 20%. Okay? So I have to fill in still what is left of the line. The upper 20 is up here on the upper end 20%. That's the upper 20. But in order to use my calculator, I have to fill in what's over here to what is left of the line, because that's the only way the calculator can be used. So if this whole thing is worth 100% and 20% is up here, then 80% is down here. It's almost like you're making $1 in money. If you have 20 cents on one side of the line, you have 80 cents on the other side of the line, because it has to add up to a full 1.0, like you're making $1. So you always, always, always need to fill in what is left of the line, because then when you do second vars 3, you're going to put in 0.80. This must be what is to the left of the line. I don't care what the question said, whatever is left of the line is what goes there. Okay? So, when I push this in the calculator, paste, hit enter, I get 0.84. So I'm going to draw my picture. I already have my picture, but now I put that 0.84 right underneath the line that I drew. Okay? One other one. We might say, find a z-score for the 75th percentile. Percentile. Well, again, percentile means below. So 75% is below this number. All right. So I have to pick a spot such that 75% is below. So that spot better be above the halfway point. So I'm going to press second vars 3, and my area is 0.75. Enter, 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 and it tells me 0.67. So I know that the z-score for this location is 0.67. And that's how you find a z-score given a percent.